So let's see if I can graph this. Log base 2 of x plus 4 minus 3. And I want to find all these things. I want to find my domain, range, x-intercept, y-intercept, horizontal asymptote, and vertical asymptote. So again, first thing I'm going to do is see if I can remember what my graph of a log looks like. Graph of a log is inverse of exponential, so my x and y's are switched. So instead of having a horizontal asymptote, it has a vertical asymptote. And instead of having a point at 0, 1, it has the point at 1, 0. To the left, it follows the asymptote. To the right, it goes up. So that's a standard graph of a log. This one has a plus 4 on the inside, so that moves left 4, and minus 3 on the outside, so it moves down 3. So I'm going to draw my new graph. So see left 4, that would affect my horizontal asymptote, my vertical asymptote. My vertical asymptote would not be at the axis anymore. It would have moved left 4. Down 3, I can move my vertical asymptote down 3, but it's a straight up and down line, so it's not really going to do much. Okay, so I got my new vertical asymptote. Now I had this point, 1, 0. I'm going to move that left 4, so 1, 0, negative 1, 2, negative 3. So I have the point here now, and I'm also going to move it down 3. So right about here. And right about, I mean literally negative 3, negative 3. So to the left, it's going to follow the asymptote. To the right, it's going to slowly increase. Okay, so some of this I should be able to figure out now. It's kind of what my graph looks like. My domain then would be negative 4, because I got the asymptote there, parentheses since there's an asymptote, to infinity. My range, it does go all the way down and slowly goes all the way up, so negative infinity to infinity. My horizontal asymptote, don't see one because logs don't have one, so none. And my vertical asymptote is at x equals negative 4 because I moved left 4. Okay, do you need to find my x-intercept and y-intercept? So we're going to sub in the zeros. So I'm going to sub in 0 for x first, and I'm going to get y equals log base 2 of 0 plus 4 minus 3. So log base 2 of 4 minus 3. Don't forget, logs are exponents, so this reads 2 raised to what power gives me 4. So log base 2 of 4 is really just 2. So 2 minus 3, so I got my y-intercept at negative 1. So 0, negative 1. So yeah, it looks like my graph is pretty okay. I'll just draw a bigger dot so it looks like it goes through it. Find my x1, I'm going to go ahead and put 0 in for my other, so 0 equals log base 2 of x plus 4 minus 3. No, shoot, that minus 3 is not in parentheses there. So x plus 4, that's in the log, that minus 3. Okay, it's a log equation, so and with a number, so I'm going to get the number on the other side, so the thing with my x in it is by itself on one side. So I'm going to get 3 equals log base 2 of x plus 4. Now I'm going to write an exponential, because if I write an exponential, that pops that 3 back up into an exponent, so I don't need the log anymore. So I'm going to get 2 cubed, get that 3 back in the exponent space, and that drops my log. So 2 cubed drops my log, so I just get x plus 4. So that would be 8 equals x plus 4. So x equals 4. So I got x-intercept at 4, 0. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like my graph is actually pretty okay. So you want to do a few points just so you can get an idea if your graph is correct or not, and also to make sure it's rising at the right rate.